Hello, good morning, all students. Today we are discuss regarding the zoology paper second, that is ZOO-202, developmental biology of vertebrates. In this unit, in this chapter, in this paper, there are three units are there. That is, the first unit is called as the early embryonic development. Second unit is called as the late embryonic development, and third unit is called as the control of the development. Out of that three units, today we are discuss regarding the first unit, that is the early embryonic development, in which we study the first unit is in the chapter. The first unit is gametogenesis. What is meant by gametogenesis? Gametogenesis. Gamete means male gamete and female gamete. Male gamete is the sperm and female gamete is the egg. That is, the formation of egg and sperm is called as the gametogenesis. That is, formation of gamete is called as the gametogenesis. Formation of egg as well as the formation of sperm, this process is called as the gametogenesis. The gametogenesis is divided into two parts, that is the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. First we see the spermatogenesis. Sperm is the male gamete. The formation of the sperm is called as the spermatogenesis. Formation of sperm in the testis is called as spermatogenesis. The process of spermatogenesis is as following steps. That is, the figure shows the seminiferous tubules of the testis. This is the figure of seminiferous tubules of testis. In the single testis of the mammals, large number of seminiferous tubules are present. This is the single figure. The figure shows the transverse section of seminiferous tubules of mammalian testis. The figure is the single seminiferous tubules. In this way, a large number of seminiferous tubules are present in the testis of the mammals. The seminiferous tubules in which formation of sperms are takes place. That is, this is the wall of the seminiferous tubules. There is the interstitial cells are present. From that, the germinal epithelial cells are present, are attached to the wall of the seminiferous tubules that form into the spermatogonia. The spermatogonia is transformed into the primary spermatocyte. The primary spermatocyte is transformed into the secondary spermatocyte. The secondary spermatocyte is transformed into the spermatid, and finally the spermatid is transformed into the sperm. This complete process from spermatogonium to the spermatozoa is called as the spermatogenesis. That is the formation of sperm. The sperm formation takes place in the seminiferous tubules of the testis. In this way, the formation of sperm takes place in the following steps. That is, it is divided into three steps. That is the multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. At the first time, the primordial germ cells are present in the seminiferous tubules, in which 2n number of chromosomes are present, and 2n number of chromosomes are mitosis to form the two primordial germ cells. from 2 number of primordial germ cells, it is also divided into 4 spermatogonia. This takes place in the multiplication phase. The complete spermatogenesis includes in the 3 steps. That is, the first is the multiplication phase, second is the growth phase, third is the maturation phase. In the first multiplication phase, multiplication of the primordial germ cells takes place. That is, from the single primordial germ cells, 2 primordial germ cells are formed. From the 2 primordial germ cells, 4 primordial germ cells are formed, and it is transformed into the spermatogonia. This complete process is called as the multiplication phase. Then the multiplication phase is enter in the second phase is called as the growth phase. That is, the spermatogonia growth takes place. Size of the spermatogonia takes place to form the primary spermatocyte, in which also the 2n number of chromosomes are present. From primary spermatocyte, then meiosis process starts. In the meiosis process, the crossing over of chromosomes takes place to form the 2n number of chromosomes are divided into the single number of the chromosomes in the secondary spermatocyte. And from secondary spermatocyte, the 4 spermatids are formed, in which the single n number of chromosomes are present, and finally the spermatids are converted into the spermatozoa. This is called as the maturation phase. In this way, in the process of spermatogenesis, the formation of sperms takes place. To see in 2 figures, that is figure number 2.2 spermatogenesis and figure number 2.1 transverse section of seminiferous tubules. Then in the figure number 2.4 and 2.3, there are the various changes takes place in the formation of the sperm, development of the sperms. This is the spermatogenesis. Then second part is of the topic is the oogenesis. Oogenesis. Oo means egg. The formation of egg takes place in the ovary is called as the oogenesis. The oogenesis takes place in the ovary, and spermatogenesis takes place in the testis. The oogenesis is also divided into the 3 phases are as follows, seen in the figure. This figure shows the oogenesis. The oogenesis is also divided into 3 phases, that is the multiplication phase, growth phase, and maturation phase. In the multiplication phase, the single primordial germ cells, in which the 2n number of chromosomes are multiplied in the process of the mitosis to form the 2 number of primordial germ cells, and from 2 primordial germ cells, 4 primordial germ cells are formed. This process, that is the multiplication from 2, 4 oogonia are formed. This process is called as the multiplication phase. The second phase of oogenesis is called as the growth phase. In the growth phase, the growth of the eggs takes place. That is, the oogonia, size of the oogonia are larger to form the primary oocyte, in which the 2n number of chromosomes are present, and finally the growth phase is converted into the maturation phase by the process of meiosis. Primary oocyte, in the process of the meiosis, the crossing over of n number of chromosomes occur to form the 2 polar bodies. from after crossing over, there is first polar body and secondary oocyte. The first polar body growth is stopped, and the second oocyte is divided into one is the smaller egg and one is the larger size egg. The larger egg size is called as oocyte, and it is developed into the mature egg, that is the ripe egg. This complete process, that is the formation of egg from primordial germ cells to the ripe egg, is called as the oogenesis. This is the two main topics in the first chapter, that is the spermatogenesis. First is today we are see the spermatogenesis. This is the spermatogenesis, and second topic is we see the oogenesis. Oogenesis, formation of egg. And next is called next topic is the difference between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Spermatogenesis means formation of sperm is called as the spermatogenesis, and the formation of egg is called as the oogenesis. The spermatogenesis takes place in the testes, and oogenesis takes place in the ovary. Spermatogenesis takes place in the male. Spermatogenesis takes place in the male. Oogenesis takes place in the female. This is the complete difference the chart showing the complete difference between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. The next topic is fertilization. What is meant by fertilization? Fertilization is defined as the union of egg and sperm is called as the fertilization. The fertilization is of two types: the external fertilization and internal fertilization. External fertilization means the egg and sperm are released in the water that is outside the body, is called as the external fertilization. And internal fertilization means the egg and sperm's union takes place inside the body of the female, is called as the internal fertilization. The external fertilization is also occurs, it is divided into two, that is the external fertilization occurs in seawater and external fertilization occurs in the fresh water. The some of the animals are egg laying. The union of egg and sperms occurs in the seawater. It is called as the external fertilization in seawater. And if the egg and sperms are released in the fresh water, the fertilization is called as the external fertilization in fresh water. And internal fertilization means the sperms are enter in the body of the female, and in the body of the female, union of egg and sperms takes place to form the zygote, is called as the external fertilization. This is the complete notes of spermatogenesis as well as oogenesis. The two notes are there, and in this way the chapter is complete. First chapter is complete, that is the early embryonic development.